I'd like to welcome the whole entire community, TronLoop community, and also new members, those who never heard of TronLoop. If it's your first time, I'd like to welcome you. My name is William, also known as Captain TronLoop. I sound like a superhero, but I'm not. This is the last update for TronLoop 2.0, we can call it, and I'm going to explain from A to Z what the update is. I'm giving you a sneak peek of the new website that you're going to see in the next few hours. What we are doing right now, everything has been tested. Everything has been tested on the test net, and from all the new features and everything. And now what's happening is I gave green light to our developer programmer to transfer to the main net, which is to go live. But it's going to take a few hours because the fact that we've taken the entire current database, bringing it to the new smart contract on the new and bringing it back to the blockchain or the Tron blockchain will take a few hours, which I expect, I would say, don't mark my word are not set in stone, but I think it's going to take about 5 to 6 hours, which means that before my next webinar will be live and direct. But now let me show you the new website. For those who've seen the previous website, there's not many changes. A few typos have been corrected, but what's the main change? This will not be here. There's no pre-launch. This is just for testing purposes that this website is here, but the website will be looking exactly like you see. And here's the addition. We've added what we call the 20-80 rule. Most people know it as the 80-20 rule. We've reversed it, the 20-80 rule, because looking at TronLoop, looking at how what we got in our hands, and really it's community driven. Our initial inception, our initial, I would say, vision was to have a circular system or a straight line where everybody receive, where no one has to invite, no sponsor, no upline, no downline. And we still kept it to that, but we had to add an addition. We had to add an incentive because a few people in the community reached out to us and told us and made us realize that if we gave a little incentive, it would enable the community to grow. And that's what we decided to do. We came up with the 20-80 rule, and it's very simple. How it works is very simple. I'm going to use, just for the example that I'm using right now, I'm going to use the 1000 TRX. The 20% and 80% rule is very simple. For those who's going to help us grow starting today, you will be rewarded immediately, instantly, with 20% of the value of all infinity loops. That's why those numbers don't change. So let's say you are on any infinity loop and you invite me and I decide to join on the 1000, for example. That means instantly 200 TRX will go to your wallet, and that's been tested. I saw it, I love it. And then 800 will go in the loop. So now going forward, the loops, or let me start, 20% goes to the inviter. We don't call that person a sponsor or upline because there is no upline, there is no downline. If you really look at it, it's a circle that's looping. So if the person that's ahead of you will be behind you once they receive. So there is no upline, there is no downline. There are only inviters going forward. But you don't have to be an inviter. If you invited, you can still wait for your turn in the loop. But if you invite people, you will receive 20% instantly per everyone you invite. No if, buts, or maybe. So that's why we call it the 20%, 80% rule. It's a one-time 20% payout to anyone who's going to help us grow. And we expect to finally grow at the rate that we need to grow, because what we have in our hands is amazing. And it's a win-win situation because those who are helping us grow will benefit everybody else in all infinity loops. So you're receiving in two ways: by helping us grow. If you do help us grow, you don't have to, and also in the loops. Now, for existing members, that question has not been answered, and I know it's been asked. What happened to existing members? First of all, we've migrated the entire database from the previous smart contract to the new smart contract. So you, me, and everybody that was already in don't have to repay, don't have to reposition ourselves. Number two, for those who are not on all 8 infinity loops and obviously don't have an inviter, what will happen for you? Well, here's the great news. You're going to pay only 80% of the value of all the loops that you're not in. So if, for example, you're not on the 1000 loop yet, and you don't have an inviter because us who were there first, we don't have an inviter. We don't need an inviter. We already are in the system. So if you're already in the system, but you're not on all the infinity loops, when you're going to pay those infinity loops, you're going to pay 80% of the value because 20% would have went to the inviter. So we made it fair for everybody on every sense of the word. So I think it's very fair. So let me reiterate the upgrade of TronLoop. TronLoop remains the same. So if we go to the top, TronLoop is still the first global community built to passively reward every participant in a straight line that keeps looping you back in to receive over and over again. That doesn't change. What doesn't change either is that anyone can participate by choosing any or all infinity loop packages using only their secure TRX wallet addresses to deposit and receive. That does not change. Also here, TronLoop works by sequential loop and payout. Each loop pays you the exact amount of your initial loop deposit and re-enters you at no cost back into the same infinity loop to receive another loop deposit and plus re-entry forever. That does not change. Multiple packages and wallets allowed. Open to all. As we grow, you'll continually receive automatic deposits and be re-entered to receive again for a lifetime. There is no cap on our simple yet powerful TronLoop system. It's the world's first fully passive residual income community. That does not change. Rewarding, transparent, affordable for the masses. It's easy to get started. Simply choose one or more loop packages below by connecting your Tron wallet and depositing the amount you wish to receive from the infinity loop, then let the fun begin. That does not change. What really changes is the 20%, 80% to incentivize the community to grow. Folks, you must understand that this is really community driven. This is not your traditional network marketing, home-based business, affiliated marketing. There is no matrices. There are no boards. This is not a flower. There's no splits. It's more akin to a circle where you get your turn and you go back in line to receive again. That's why we call it Tron Loop. It's looping. All of us, I said it before, I'll say it again. TronLoop is probably the only system that will enable every single person to receive. You just got to wait for your turn. And now what we've incentivized people to help us grow the community so that everybody can loop not just once, but not just twice, but many times over. So if you've already looped, you know what I mean. And if you have not looped yet, you're about to loop because this community is about to grow. We're incentivizing the community to grow. And I think we got the perfect balance, a win-win, where we can incentivize traditional recruiters, networkers, or sponsors, whatever you call them, marketers, those who can invite, and also help those who cannot invite. I think we got the perfect balance. Now, let me introduce you to the brand new TronLoop video. It almost looked like the previous video, but we've added the 20%, 20-80 rule, or 20%, 80% rule. And after that, I'm going to open the lines where I'd like to hear your comments and everything. And again, remember, in the next few hours, I say about 6 hours, hopefully less. The time is basically the time it takes to upload the whole database to the main net. It's happening as I'm talking to you right now. It's happening. I gave the green light to the developer, so I know that before my next webinar at 10 p.m. Eastern time, we will be live and running. And I've already got messages from people saying that they're ready to invite people. So that means we're going to start growing as soon as we go live. So now let me close this tab because it's just a testing website. It's not the real website yet. Let me introduce you to the brand new TronLoop video, and then I'll open the lines. We're going to keep this short. We're going to keep this short because the focus today, I would say what the focus today is get prepared to invite people if you have people to invite. That's what the focus is today. Help them get their wallet ready. Help them fund their wallet. We have a few hours. And there's no competition really and truly, because you're going to get your 20% instantly and you're going to help the community grow. Let's watch this for a moment, then I'll open the lines. Let me cue this and let's watch this together. Folks, I forgot to talk about the game changer. We have a game changer. Now, I'm not going to show you the brand new website again because it was on a test platform. I'm going to show you the current website, which is being upgraded. In the next few hours, you'll see the brand new website, but I'm bringing back the infinity loops to talk to you about the game changer. Now, the 20%, 80% transformation, I think, is very great, but we decided to go even beyond that. Also, the fact that existing members who were not invited per se, they were invited, but they don't have an inviter per se, if you don't understand what I'm saying. So if you are not on all 8 infinity loops and when you decide to upgrade, you'll pay 80% of the value of whatever infinity loop that you're not on yet. And whoever's receiving will be receiving going forward 80% of the infinity loops, because 20% is being assigned to the inviters. But now here's the game changer. For those who understand these 4 letters, F like Frank, O, M like Michael, O, FOMO, fear of missing out. We've removed that. We've removed the fear of missing out. What does that mean? Let's say you join TronLoop and for some reason you don't have all the funds to join all 8 infinity loops, and you decide to join maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe a few. Now, in traditional systems, whatever system they are, blockchain or not, there's always the fear of missing out, because you would want to upgrade to the higher quote unquote levels or slots, because if you're not on those levels, you wouldn't receive or be paid from those levels. We've removed that, which means that if you can only afford the 250 TRX, for example, or whatever you can afford, we say get in where you fit in. As long as someone uses your referral link, everyone will have a referral link. Here's the great news. You'll still receive your 20% on any infinity loops regardless if you're not on those loops yet, that fear of missing out has been removed. You don't have to hustle or struggle to say, oh, I need to go on the 500 or the 1,000 or the 2,000 or the 4,000 or the 8,000, the 16,000, the 32,000. Actually, you should go on those infinity loops. But if you don't have the money or the wherewithal yet to go, you don't have to worry. Just share your link, and whoever joins you and goes on those level, quote unquote, before you, you'll still get your 20%. So we've removed the fear of missing out. The only thing is that obviously in those loop, they'll be before you. But again, there's no upline, there's no downline. Whenever you receive, you go behind the line so you can receive again. So I think we got a perfect balance of everything. I think the upgrade, I'm proud of this upgrade that's going to finally happen live and direct in about, like I said, 6 hours, maybe less. But I think let me reiterate again what we've done. We've now changed the loops where 20% will go to those who help us grow. Whoever you are, a professional networker or inviter, or just a person who's going to invite one person, you still get your 20%. Now we need to do some math. We need to do some math so you can understand how big this is. This is huge. This is so huge that you need to understand. And we need to, let's look at the value of all 8 infinity loops. It's 63,750 TRX. That comes up to 1672. TRX went up in value the last few days. We're going to take what, 1670 as an example. We're going to round it to 1670. So let's say you are on all 8 infinity loops. You share it with me, who decide to join you on all 8 infinity loops, and you are rewarded with 20%. What is that 20%? That's basically 334. And this, let's say you decide to share with 5 people, you got your 1670 back in your pocket like it was nothing. We haven't even looped yet. Now, why don't we take that 334, which comes from 20% of 1670. 1670 represents all 8 infinity loops in US dollars, and you get 334 US dollars, which is 20%. Why not share it with 20 people for the fun of it? Why not? You already netted $6,680 without even looping yet. And here's the crazy thing. Let's say you are just on a few loops and you invite somebody on all 8 infinity loops, you're still going to get your 334, which represents 20% of all 8 infinity loop. I think, folks, we got the perfect balance. I think we got it. And with that being said, I'm going to start unmuting a few people. I'd like to hear your comment. I'm going to go for I usually go with the familiar names, but I'm going to go with a different person to start. And get ready. I'm going to choose Ike. Ike, I'd like to hear your comment about this. You can unmute yourself, Ike. What do you think about the upgrades of TronLoop? No?
Oh, hi.
Yes, Ike.
I will. Hello. Well, I must say this this new update that you've thrown in there just now, that defines what you just said about it being a game changer. And I think that alone is really that's thrown a totally different dimension to everything, and I'm sure that's gonna make this community grow and explode. This program, I've already looped. I was one of the ones that joined quite early, and I've seen the power of this community, the power of this program, and absolutely, with no doubt, with a little bit of incentive for the team leaders, those that can grow communities, this is going to grow. And it's a very unique program. I think what you're doing there is fantastic, Will. What you've done is fantastic, and surely what you're going to do in the future is going to carry on being fantastic. It's a truly unique program. As you said, there's no upline or downline, but it does give everybody in the community the opportunity to loop, the opportunity to grow the community, the opportunity to truly earn a passive income. So this is wonderful. And I'm trying to think if there's any program out there which actually pays people on levels that they haven't upgraded to yet. And I'm on a few platforms myself, And thinking about it, I don't think there's any other ones that I'm on that actually pay you based on a level that you're not on. This last update that Will has just thrown in there now. So that is a true game changer. And I think this community is going to explode. So great job there, Will. And yeah, I look forward to keep looping, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Ike. I really appreciate your comments. Yes, the last part, was a game changer. Let me unmute somebody else. I want to hear a comment about what you think. Max, let me unmute you. What do you think about our game changer? Go ahead, Max.
All right, thanks, Will. Yeah, this is brilliant. I think for those that are here for the first time, or those that have already been existing in the old platform, because this is now relaunched. It's 2.0, which is fired up, and it's gonna motivate. I would say maybe those of us who are networkers, and it will help everyone else that is involved to benefit from this. So for me right now, I'm just ready to get fired up and invite as many people to come. And I know that 20%. And the other the beauty of it is that, which you also shared with me, is that even if I come and join with just 250, right? I refer somebody and then they come and activate all the 8 levels. I'll get 20% of that, even the levels that I'm not even currently active on. That's a game changer. In other opportunities, you only get to the level that you are active, but here you benefit. So if you say all the levels is 1.7 or 1.8, whatever it is, just imagine how much is 20% of that. That's over $320. That's a lot. That's a lot. This is a game changer for those that, even if you just introduce one person, an extra $320 will go a long way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Max. Thank you. We really worked hard at it, and we thought about everything, and definitely that last part, what usually is what you consider the fear of missing out. You feel like if you're not on those infinity loops, you're going to miss out. We've removed that. We've removed it totally, so that you don't have to worry. Get in where you fit in, and then upgrade. Especially when you get those 20% on loops that you're not even on yet, that will incentivize you to upgrade on those loops. And really, we wanted to make it as easy as we can for people. Now I'm going to unmute Mark, my good friend Mark. Mark, I'd like to hear your comment. What do you think about the upgrades of TronLoop?
Hello.
Yes, Mark.
Yeah, this is great. And what can I say? You see, what has happened here, to me, the real thing is you can't find this anywhere. And that is the truth. Many of us here are into different smart contracts. And you know,
Mark, I think we're losing you. Okay, we might have lost you, Mark. No problem. No worries. We'll come back to you, Mark, or I do apologize. We'll come back to you. Let me see who else I'd like to unmute. David, let me unmute David. David, what do you think about the upgrades of TronLoop? Go ahead, David.
Fantastic job. You and Mark and Ike and Max covered the big advantage for somebody being at just 250, 500, 1,000 or whatever, being able to introduce someone on that 20%. Something else I caught was pretty exciting is, let's say somebody in the beginning had only come up like halfway. I mean, 7 loops, like $800. They would have to spend approximately $838 to go to number 8. But now it's only $670, so they save $168. So that's a big plus right there for them just to be able to upgrade without paying the full amount. So looks good all around. And by the way, David Gattner's in meetings, and he said he couldn't get on speaker. He's on the call, but he couldn't get on and speak. So he likes it too, though. He's excited about it. Perfect.
I want to thank both you, David and David, David and David. You guys are amongst the ones who pushed us to do those upgrades. And even though the game changer, we thought about it, but you guys pushed us to say that, we need to at least encourage those that can help us grow. And we thought about it. As much as I'm a purist and I wanted TronLoop to don't have necessarily the aspect of referral, it was required. But still, remember, TronLoop is a straight line or a circular system where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. There is no top, there is no bottom. It's just a straight line. And once you receive, you go back in line. So I think we got something great. So in the next 6 hours, I say, that's about 45 minutes ago, my developer saying, I gave him the green light, said, let's make it happen. Said it would take about 6 hours. So let's say 6 hours or less, which means that before my next webinar, we will be live, and I'll inform everybody in the Telegram group here that we have here, in our WhatsApp groups, all over the place. I'll inform people. And what I'm going to say is get ready to help the community grow, get ready to be incentivized for helping us grow. And if you cannot help us grow, don't worry about it. You're not forced to help us grow, but helping us grow will incentivize you where you can receive a lot before you even loop, and you're still going to loop. And those who help us grow is to help the whole community. We are truly community-based. Even though I started this with my partner, there is no top or bottom. I'm not at the top. I'm in the loop like anybody else. When I receive, I go back in line. So I don't have no specific advantage, no extra advantage. And truth be told, I spent money out of my pocket to make this happen, and we're giving it as a gift to the community. Our only advantage, quote unquote, is we started first in the loops, and yet we go back in line like anybody else. So this is totally unique. And last but not least, we've removed that fear of missing out. So if you're on the 4,000 TRX and you invite somebody who goes on the 8,000 TRX, you'll still receive 20% worth of that. You'll still receive 20% worth of any loop, regardless if you're on them or not. And we hope that it encourages you to get on the loops that you're not on yet. Because the goal or the strategy, for those who ask me, what's the strategy of TronLoop? It's simple. It's for you to be on all 8 infinity loops and make also multiple wallets and invite people and grow the community. That's what the strategy is. All of us need to do that. The only thing is that some of us may not be able to invite immediately, but we believe as you're looping, we think that you also will invite, and all of a sudden we'll have a community of those who invite. And if you've seen other smart contracts, come on, we're not even 1,000 yet. We could be easily 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. Listen, we can be numbers that we don't even know yet. And that's what I believe. I'm confident, I'm proud, I'm happy, I'm humble also. It is me, your servant, William, aka Captain TronLoop. I'm going to finish this webinar with our brand new video, and I'll be back at 10 p.m. Eastern time. But before I'm back, TronLoop 2.0 will be live. All the leaders that I know, all the connections that I have, you will be informed so that you inform your people. I'll inform the Telegram group, all the WhatsApp group. I'll send texts to different people. I'll send emails, whatever it takes, smoke signals, send pigeon messages, whatever. We'll inform the whole world that we're live and we're ready with the 20/80 rule, and we've removed the fear of missing out. You'll never miss out once you join TronLoop and you invite people. So with that being said, let's finish with our brand new video, and I'll be back in a few hours. I'll inform everyone when we're live and direct. And I want to thank you for believing in us as we believe in you. We are a community, TronLoop.